The boat had no name yet. His father always said, "A boat earned its name through the water it survived." Dr. Marcus Webb stood in the doorway of Webb and Sons Boatyard, watching a woman he'd never met sand the hull of a vessel his father would never sail. The workshop smelled like cedar and salt in 16 years of absence. His daughter Lily pressed against his side, small hand gripping his jacket. "Is that Grandpa's boat?" she whispered. "Yes, sweetheart, that's it." The woman looked up. Mid-30s, black, with sawdust in her hair and exhaustion carved into her face like wood grain. She set down the sanding block and walked toward them, wiping her hands on jeans that had seen better years. "Dr. Webb, I'm Jordan Matthews." Her handshake was firm, calloused. "I worked for your father. The lawyer said someone was keeping the place open." Marcus glanced around the workshop. Tools organized with military precision. Blueprints tacked to walls. 8 months of dust on everything except the boat. "He didn't mention you were still working." "Someone has to finish what he started." "Without pay?" Jordan's jaw tightened. "Your father taught me this trade when I was 17. Paid me fairly, treated me like family. I owe him." Lily tugged Marcus's sleeve. "Daddy, can I see?" "Stay where I can see you." He watched his daughter approach the boat with the cautious reverence of someone who understood fragile things. Emma's death had taught her that at 4 years old. "How long until it's done?" Marcus asked. 8 weeks, maybe 10 if I hit problems. Jordan crossed her arms. "But that doesn't matter now, does it? You're selling to Palmer Development." "I haven't decided." The lawyer said. "The lawyer assumes a lot." Marcus felt the weight of coastal Maine pressing down on him. He'd left at 20, swearing he'd never come back, never work with wood, never become his father. And here he was at 36, widowed, raising Lily alone in California, staring at a half-finished boat he didn't want, and a woman who looked at him like he'd already betrayed something sacred. "I need 8 weeks," Jordan said quietly. "Let me finish the boat. After that, sell to whoever you want. Bulldoze the place, I don't care. But your father spent 3 years building this vessel. He deserves to see it sail. He's dead." "I know. I found him." Jordan's voice cracked slightly. "Stroke, right there by the workbench. He was cutting deck beams. I called the ambulance, held his hand. He died 3 days later without waking up." Marcus felt Lily watching him, waiting to see how he'd respond. 8 years old, and already learning to read the moments when adults made decisions that mattered. 8 weeks, he said, then we close the sale. Jordan's shoulders dropped slightly. Relief or resignation, hard to tell. "Thank you. Don't thank me. I'm still taking this place away from you." "I know." She turned back toward the boat. "But at least he'll see water first." Marcus rented a house in Port Sterling, small, furnished close enough to the boatyard he could walk. Lily enrolled in the local elementary school with the understanding it was temporary. 8 weeks, then back to California. Back to his research position studying kelp forest restoration. Back to the life he'd built away from sawdust and disappointment. The first morning he arrived at the yard at 6. Jordan was already working, coffee brewing on a camp stove in the corner. "You're early," she said. "Lily's at school. Figured I might as well see what I'm selling." Jordan poured him coffee without asking if he wanted it. "Your father kept journals. Every boat he built, documented start to finish. This one's in the office, might want to read it." "I'm not sentimental. Wasn't suggesting you were." Jordan handed him the mug. "But if you're going to sell this place, you should know what you're selling." Marcus found the journal on his father's desk. Leather-bound, pages filled with careful handwriting. Measurements, sketches. But also notes that had nothing to do with boat building. Marcus called today. Didn't ask about the yard. Didn't ask about me. Just wanted to know if I'd sent Lily's birthday check. I did. $100. She's 6 now. I've seen her twice. Both times funerals. Asterisk. Marcus closed the journal, opened it again. Jordan asked why I'm building this boat. Told her when it's done, maybe Marcus will come see it. Maybe he'll bring Lily. Maybe we'll sail together. She didn't say what we both know. That Marcus hasn't been home in 10 years. That he won't come back. That I'm building this boat for a reunion that will never happen. Found the journals? Jordan stood in the doorway. He thought I'd come back. Marcus set the book down carefully. Thought I'd sail with him. He hoped you would. Different thing. Why didn't he call? Why didn't he ask? Jordan leaned against the doorframe. Pride, maybe. Or fear you'd say no. Your father wasn't good with words. Preferred to build things and hope people understood what he meant. I didn't understand. I know. He knew too. Jordan's expression softened. But he built the boat anyway, because hope doesn't require certainty, just stubbornness. The work started that afternoon. Marcus expected to watch. Instead, Jordan handed him sandpaper and pointed at the hull. 80 grit, sand with the grain, feel for rough spots. I'm a marine biologist, not a carpenter. Today you're both. We've got 8 weeks and I can't do this alone. Jordan started sanding beside him, her movements efficient and rhythmic. Your father said you helped him build furniture when you were 10, said you had good hands. That was 26 years ago. Hands don't forget. They worked in silence. Marcus found the rhythm slowly. Sand, check, sand again. His shoulders burned within an hour. Jordan worked without breaking, without complaining, covering twice his area in the same time. You're pressing too hard, she said eventually. Let the paper work. You're fighting it. Marcus adjusted his pressure. Immediately, the process smoothed out. Better, Jordan said. You learn fast. My father said that? He said you were stubborn. That once you committed to something, you'd break before you'd quit. Jordan paused her sanding. He also said you broke when your wife died. That you stopped calling, stopped answering, disappeared into your work because grief was easier to avoid than feel. Marcus's hands stilled. He told you that. We worked together for 15 years. We talked. About me. About everything. Your father wasn't quiet once you got him going. He just needed someone who'd listen without judging. Jordan resumed sanding. He was proud of you. Your research, your dedication to saving kelp forests. But he missed you. Missed Lily. Missed the son who used to help him shape wood. I couldn't be who he wanted me to be. He didn't want you to be anyone. He just wanted you to come home sometimes. 3 days in, a black Mercedes pulled into the yard. Richard Palmer emerged. 50s, expensive suit, smile that didn't reach his eyes. Dr. Webb. Richard Palmer. Palmer Development. Marcus didn't shake his hand. I know who you are. Then you know I've made a generous offer for this property. 7 figures. More than fair for a failing business. I haven't accepted. You will. Palmer glanced at the workshop. At Jordan, visible through the door. This boatyard is finished. Traditional wooden boat building is a dying art. No profit margin. No future. You're a scientist. You understand economics. I understand vultures too. Marcus crossed his arms. I said 8 weeks. After that, we'll talk. Palmer's smile thinned. Dr. Webb, I've been patient. But I have investors, timelines, construction schedules. If you're planning some sentimental gesture to honor your father, I'd reconsider. Sentiment doesn't pay mortgages, doesn't fund research grants. Are you threatening me? I'm reminding you of reality. You have a career in California, a daughter to support. medical bills from your wife's cancer treatment that I imagine are still significant. Palmer pulled out his phone, showed Marcus a number. This is what I'm offering. More than the property's worth. Enough to clear your debts and fund Lily's college education. Marcus stared at the number. Palmer was right. Emma's medical bills had destroyed him financially. He'd been writing grant proposals at night, teaching extra courses, doing consulting work, anything to stay afloat. This money would solve everything. 8 weeks, Marcus repeated. Then we'll talk. After Palmer left, Jordan emerged from the workshop. He's not going away. I know. And he's right. You need that money. Marcus looked at her sharply. How do you know about my finances? Jordan's expression was unreadable. Small town. People talk. Your father worried about you after Emma died. About the medical debt. About you raising Lily alone. He never called to ask how I was. Would you have answered? Marcus didn't have a response to that. Week 2 brought rhythm. Marcus dropped Lily at school, worked until 3, picked her up, worked another 2 hours while she did homework in the office. Jordan taught him joinery, taught him to read wood grain like a language, taught him that patience was a tool as important as any saw or chisel. Lily loved Jordan immediately, would bring her drawings, ask questions about boats and tools and why wood floated. Jordan answered every question seriously, treated Lily like an adult, capable of understanding complex things. Why didn't Grandpa finish the boat? Lily asked one afternoon. Jordan crouched to Lily's level. He ran out of time, sweetheart. Sometimes that happens. We start things we can't finish. But you're finishing it. I'm trying. Because you loved him. Jordan's breath caught. Yeah, because I loved him. Marcus watched this exchange from across the workshop and felt something crack in his chest. Grief he'd been holding back for 8 months, for 4 years since Emma died, for 16 years since he'd left Maine and never really come back. That night, he opened his father's journal again, read entries from the last year. Jordan's father died this week. Car accident. She's devastated. No other family. I told her to take time off. She showed up anyway. Said work was the only thing keeping her upright. I understand that. After Marcus's mother died, this workshop saved my life. Sometimes you survive by building things, by making something exist that didn't exist before. Asterisk. Marcus turned pages. Jordan asked me today why I kept building boats when the business barely breaks even. Told her because boats are honest. They float or they sink. They sail or they don't. No middle ground. No pretending. In a world full of ambiguity, I like making things that either work or fail cleanly. Asterisk. More pages, Marcus called. First time in 6 months. Asked if I could help with Lily's summer camp tuition. Said yes immediately. Sent him $2,000 I don't have. Charged it to the credit card. Worth it to hear my granddaughter's voice for 5 minutes on speakerphone. She told me about learning to swim, about missing her mother, about her father working all the time. I told her I was proud of her, told her I loved her. Didn't tell her I've been building a boat for 4 years, hoping someday she'd sail on it with me. Asterisk. Marcus closed the journal, walked outside, and vomited in the gravel parking lot. Week 3 brought the first sabotage. Marcus arrived at 6 to find the workshop door open. Lights on. Jordan standing in the center of the space, staring at the boat. Someone had poured paint stripper on the hull. 20 hours of varnish work ruined. The wood was bubbling, blistering, the finish destroyed. Who did this? Marcus's voice shook. Jordan didn't answer, just stared at the damage. Jordan, who? I don't know. But her voice was wrong, flat, like she was lying. Marcus walked a circuit around the boat. The damage was localized, just the port side. Deliberate. Someone who knew enough to hurt the project but not destroy it completely. This sets us back a week, Jordan said quietly. Maybe more. We'll have to strip everything, resand. Start varnishing from scratch. Call the police. And tell them what? We have no proof, no cameras. Could be anyone. Could be Palmer. Jordan's expression flickered. Could be. You know something. Marcus stepped closer. Jordan, what aren't you telling me? Nothing. I'm telling you nothing. She grabbed a scraper. We don't have time for police or theories. We have 6 weeks left in a boat that now looks like hell. So we work or we quit. Your choice. Marcus wanted to push, wanted answers. But Jordan's shoulders were rigid, her jaw set, and he recognized that posture. It was his own. The look of someone carrying guilt they couldn't share. We work, he said. They spent 3 days stripping varnish, resanding, repairing the damage. Grueling work that left them exhausted and silent, Lily noticed. Is Miss Jordan mad at you? She asked one evening. I don't think so. Why? She looked sad, like you looked after Mommy died. Marcus had no answer for that. Week 4 brought the second sabotage and the truth. Marcus arrived early, 5 a.m., earlier than Jordan. Wanted to make progress before Lily's school day started. As he approached the workshop, he saw a figure inside. Jordan and Richard Palmer. Palmer handed Jordan an envelope. She took it, looked inside, closed it, shook her head, handed it back. Palmer's voice carried through the open door. Think about it. $50,000 cash. All you have to do is delay the project. Make it miss the deadline. Once the sale closes, I'll hire you as head builder for my restoration division. Salary, benefits, everything you need. I said no. Jordan's voice was tight. You're in debt, Ms. Matthews. $30,000 in medical bills from your father's accident. Another $20,000 in credit cards. You're one emergency away from bankruptcy. Take the money. Help me acquire this property. Everyone wins. Except Marcus. Dr. Webb will be fine. He gets 7 figures for property he doesn't want. You get financial stability. I get the land. It's business. It's betrayal. It's survival. Palmer set the envelope on the workbench. Think about it. You have my number. Palmer left. Jordan stood alone, staring at the envelope. Marcus stepped into the workshop. Jordan spun, face draining of color. Marcus! How long? His voice was ice. How long have you been working with Palmer? I'm not. Don't lie to me. I just watched him offer you money to sabotage this project. Jordan's hands shook. He's been calling for 3 weeks, texting, offering me money, jobs, everything. I said no every time. But you met with him. He showed up. I didn't invite him. The paint stripper. Was that you? What? No. Jordan's eyes went wide. Marcus, I would never. You need money. You're in debt. Palmer offers you $50,000 and suddenly our project gets sabotaged? Marcus felt betrayal burning through his chest. My father trusted you. I trusted you. I didn't do anything. You didn't tell me Palmer was pressuring you. That's something. Marcus grabbed the envelope, opened it, a cashier's check for $50,000. Jesus Christ, Jordan. I gave it back. You saw me give it back. After how many times saying yes? Jordan's face crumpled. I said no every time. Every single time. But he's right, Marcus. I'm drowning. I owe $30,000 in medical bills. The bank is threatening foreclosure on my house. I'm working without pay on a boat that won't save me from bankruptcy. And you, her voice broke. You're selling this place anyway. So why shouldn't I take Palmer's money? Why should I protect a legacy you're just going to bulldoze? The words hung between them like smoke. Get out, Marcus said quietly. Marcus, get out. You're fired. We're done. Jordan stared at him, tears running down her face now, silent and devastating. Your father would be ashamed of you. My father kept secrets too. Looks like you learned from the best. Jordan grabbed her coat and walked out. Her truck started, drove away, left Marcus alone in the workshop with a half-finished boat and 5 weeks until Palmer's deadline. He called his sister that night. I need help. Can you watch Lily? What happened? I have to finish a boat. Marcus, you're not a boat builder. No, but my father was, and I owe him this. Working alone was brutal. Marcus pushed 12-hour days, 14, 16, dropped Lily at school, worked until he couldn't see straight, picked her up, fed her dinner, worked more. His hands blistered, then calloused. His back screamed. He lost weight. Lily watched him with worried eyes. Daddy, you look sick. I'm fine, sweetheart. You look like you did after Mommy died, when you stopped eating. I'm eating. You're not? Lily set down her fork. And you're not sleeping. And you're mad all the time. Marcus forced himself to breathe. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to finish Grandpa's boat. Why? Because I owe him. He's dead, Daddy. He doesn't care. I care. Lily studied him with Emma's eyes, dark, direct, seeing too much. You're doing this because you feel bad. Because you didn't come visit him. Because you were mean. Lily! I heard you and Miss Jordan fighting. She said you're selling Grandpa's boatyard, destroying his legacy. It's complicated. No, it's not. Lily's voice was small but certain. You're scared. Like you were scared after Mommy died. So you're working really hard so you don't have to feel things. Marcus stared at his 8-year-old daughter and realized she understood him better than he understood himself. What should I do? He asked quietly. Apologize to Miss Jordan. She didn't do anything bad. She gave the money back. She lied to me. She was scared too. Everybody's scared, Daddy. But you don't fix scared by pushing people away. Week 5 brought the storm. Weather forecasts had called for rain. What arrived was a nor'easter, 60-mile-per-hour winds, horizontal rain, waves crashing over the harbor breakwater. Marcus secured the workshop as best he could, but the main doors faced the ocean, and the wind was relentless. At midnight, his phone rang, the boatyard security alarm. He called his sister to stay with Lily and drove through the storm. Trees down across roads, power lines sparking, the kind of weather that killed people. The workshop doors had blown open. Rain poured inside. And in the center of the space, the boat had shifted on its supports, threatening to topple. Marcus ran inside, tried to brace the cradle. The boat weighed 9,000 pounds. It shifted again, started to fall. He braced his shoulder against the hull, pushed with everything he had. Wasn't enough. The boat tilted further. Then another body slammed against the hull beside him. Jordan, soaked, exhausted, pushing. On 3, she shouted over the wind. 1, 2, 3. They pushed together. The boat shifted back, settled, held. Jordan grabbed chains from the wall. They worked in the screaming wind and rain, securing the cradle, bracing the hull, fighting to save 3 years of work from destruction. When it was finally secure, they collapsed on the floor, shaking, drenched, breathing hard. Why are you here? Marcus gasped. Someone has to save you from yourself. Jordan wiped rain from her face. I've been watching the weather. Knew this storm would hit. Knew you'd come. I fired you. I know. Jordan looked at the boat. Doesn't mean I stopped caring. Marcus felt something break inside him. The wall he'd built. The anger he'd been holding. The guilt that had driven him for weeks. I'm sorry, he said. You gave the money back. You said no to Palmer, and I accused you of sabotage because I was looking for a reason to push you away. Why? Because everyone I care about leaves or dies. My mother, Emma, my father. It's easier to leave first, Easier to destroy things before they destroy me. Jordan was quiet for a long moment. Your father told me something once, after my dad died. Said grief makes us do one of two things: build walls or build bridges. Walls keep us safe but alone. Bridges risk heartbreak but lead somewhere. What did you build? I tried walls for a year. Nearly killed myself. Jordan's voice was barely audible. Your father found me on the dock one night, pills in my hand, ready to jump. He sat with me for 6 hours, didn't judge, didn't lecture, just told me stories about boats, about wood, about how the strongest structures aren't the ones that never break, but the ones that break and get repaired, get stronger at the broken places. Marcus felt tears mixing with rain on his face. He never told me you tried to kill yourself. I asked him not to. Didn't want pity. But after that night, he gave me purpose. Taught me everything. Made me his partner. Saved my life by giving me a reason to stay alive. Jordan met Marcus's eyes. So when he died, I kept building. Because he taught me that the answer to death isn't more death. It's more life, more work, more stubbornness, more refusal to let darkness win. I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do. You're doing it now. Jordan gestured at the boat. You've worked yourself half to death for 5 weeks trying to finish this vessel. That's not guilt. That's love. That's hope. That's you building a bridge, even though you're terrified it'll collapse. Marcus looked at the boat, at the work of his father's hands, at the dream Jordan had protected, at the legacy he'd almost destroyed. I can't finish it alone, he said. I need help. I know. Will you help me? Jordan smiled, exhausted and real. I never stopped. Ugh. The final 3 weeks were madness. They worked 18-hour days. Lily helped when she could, sanding, holding tools, bringing coffee. The town heard about their deadline, their struggle, and people showed up. Former apprentices of Marcus's father, customers who'd bought his boats, the hardware store owner who donated supplies, the dockmaster who promised free slip space for the launch. Port Sterling rallied around them. Palmer tried one more time. Showed up personally with a new offer, higher numbers, threats about missing deadlines. Jordan faced him in the doorway. You can't have it, the yard, the boat, any of it. Ms. Matthews, I've been patient. You've been a vulture. Now get off this property before I call the police. Palmer's expression went cold. You'll regret this. I doubt it. After he left, Marcus said, that $50,000 would have solved your problems. Some problems don't need solving. They need surviving. Jordan picked up sandpaper. I'm done trying to save myself by betraying people I love. I'll figure out my debts some other way. Jordan, we've got 2 weeks left and a mile-long punch list. Talk later. Work now. They finished with 1 day to spare. The boat gleamed in the late afternoon sun. Varnish perfect, hardware installed, every detail exactly as planned. 32 feet of wooden perfection, ready for water. The launch was scheduled for Saturday morning. High tide. The whole town invited. Friday night, Marcus found his father's journal one last time. The final entry, written the day before the stroke. 3 years. 156 weeks. 4,380 hours. That's how long I've worked on this boat. People ask why. Why spend so much time on something I'll barely get to sail? Why not build for a customer? Why not make money? The answer is simple. I built this boat for Marcus, for the son who left and never came back, for the grandson I barely know, for the hope that someday, maybe, we'd stand on this deck together and sail into water that doesn't care about our mistakes, doesn't care about my pride or his fear, just asks if we can work together to harness the wind. Asterisk. I'm 68 years old. I've built 42 boats. This one is the last. the best, the truest. And if Marcus never sees it, if he never forgives me for not being what he needed, that's okay. Because I built it anyway. Because hope doesn't need permission. It just needs hands willing to work. Asterisk. And if he does come home, if he brings Lily and we sail together, then every hour was worth it. Every callus, every ache, every moment. A boat earns its name through the water it survives. But people earn names too, through the choices they make when everything is falling apart. I'm hoping Marcus earns his, hoping he remembers that Webb means weaver, maker, someone who takes broken threads and makes something whole. But even if he doesn't, I built the boat. And that has to be enough. Marcus closed the journal, walked into the workshop, and found Jordan doing final inspections by flashlight. I'm not selling, he said. Jordan looked up sharply. What? The boatyard. I'm not selling to Palmer. I'm keeping it. Marcus, you can't. You have a career in California. I'll find work here. Remote consulting, grants, teaching. Marcus joined her beside the boat. I'm a marine biologist. This is a coastal town. I can study kelp restoration from here. Research sustainable boat building materials. Consult with universities. Lily can grow up knowing her grandfather's legacy, knowing where she comes from. And me? Jordan's voice was small. You're the one who knows how to run this place. You're the one my father trusted. You're the one who saved his last boat. Marcus met her eyes. So I'm offering you partnership. Webb and Matthew's Boatyard. 50-50. We build boats, teach apprentices, keep the tradition alive. I can't afford to buy in. I'm broke. So am I. We'll be broke together. Work until we're not. Marcus smiled. My father said the strongest structures aren't the ones that never break. They're the ones that break and get repaired, get stronger at the broken places. Maybe we can be that. Broken, but repairing. Building something together. Jordan's eyes filled with tears. Are you sure? I've never been less sure of anything in my life. Marcus laughed. But Lily says I can't fix fear by pushing people away. And I think my father built this boat, knowing I'd need a reason to come home. Something solid enough to stand on when everything else was collapsing. He loved you, Jordan said quietly. Every day, every moment. Even when you didn't call, didn't visit, he loved you. I know. Marcus's throat was tight. I know. They stood in silence. Then Jordan said, the boat still needs a name. Marcus looked at the vessel his father had built. At the dream Jordan had protected. At the bridge they'd built together through storm and doubt and fear. Emma's promise, he said. After my wife? She made me promise I'd teach Lily where she came from, who her family was. I broke that promise when she died, broke it by running away. But I'm keeping it now, by staying, by building, by teaching Lily that Webb means maker. Jordan nodded, smiled. Emma's promise. Your father would love that. Saturday brought perfect weather. Crystalline sky, gentle wind, high tide kissing the dock. The whole town turned out, 200 people crowding the harbor to watch a wooden sailboat touch water for the first time. Marcus and Jordan stood on deck with Lily between them. The crane lifted the boat smoothly, swung it over the water, lowered it gently. The hull settled, floated. Perfect. The crowd erupted in applause. Lily threw her arms around Marcus's neck. Grandpa would be proud. Yeah, sweetheart, I think he would. They spent the afternoon sailing. Emma's promise cut through the water like she was born to it, fast, stable, responsive. Every system worked, every joint held. 3 years of careful work paying off in perfect motion. As they sailed past the harbor, Marcus saw Palmer standing on the breakwater, watching. His expression was cold fury. Jordan saw him too, raised her hand, waved. Palmer turned and walked away. "That's not the last we'll hear from him," Jordan said. "Probably not. But we've got the boat, got the yard, got time to figure things out." Marcus adjusted the jib. One crisis at a time, they sailed until sunset, until the water turned copper and gold, until Lily fell asleep against Jordan's shoulder. Then they motored back to the harbor, tied up at the dock, and stood on deck watching nightfall. "Thank you," Marcus said quietly, "for not giving up on the boat, on my father, on me. Thank you for coming home." Jordan's hand found his. "Even if it took 16 years, better late than never." Better late than never. They stood together as stars emerged above the Atlantic. The boat rocked gently beneath them, solid and true, built by a father for a son who'd finally learned what legacy meant. Not buildings or businesses or things that lasted beyond death, but love, stubborn, patient, refusing to quit even when the person you loved pushed you away. His father had built this boat knowing Marcus might never see it, had built it anyway, because hope didn't require certainty, just hands willing to work. And now, Marcus stood on those boards, holding the hand of a woman who'd saved him from himself, with his daughter sleeping nearby and a town that had welcomed him home. Emma's promise floated in her slip, already earning her name. And Marcus Webb, for the first time in 16 years, felt like he was finally where he belonged. 6 months later, Webb and Matthew's boatyard hummed with activity. 2 apprentices worked under Jordan's supervision, learning traditional methods. Marcus split his time between the workshop and marine research, consulting remotely, writing grants, teaching online courses about sustainable boat-building materials. Lily had a new school, new friends, and spent afternoons in the workshop learning joinery from Jordan. She was building a dinghy, 8 feet long, her own design, her own hands. Palmer Development filed 3 lawsuits trying to force the sale. All 3 were dismissed. The judge noted that preserving traditional maritime trades served the public interest. Emma's promise sailed regularly. They'd entered her in classic boat races, where she consistently placed in the top 3. But mostly she sailed for pleasure. Marcus, Jordan, and Lily taking her out on weekends, exploring the coast, learning her rhythms. Jordan's debt was slowly shrinking. The yard was breaking even. Not profitable yet, but sustainable. They'd gotten a grant from the State Historical Preservation Fund, were teaching workshops, building reputation. One afternoon, while working on a new build, a 26-foot sloop for a customer in Boston, Jordan found an envelope in the office. No return address. Inside was a cashier's check for $50,000 and a note in Marcus's handwriting. "From your father's life insurance. He left it to me with instructions to help Jordan however she needs. Took me 6 months to track down the policy. Use it for your debt. No strings, no payback required. He loved you. Wanted you taken care of. Consider it paid forward." Jordan found Marcus in the workshop. Showed him the check. "You can't do this. It's not for me, it's for my father." "Marcus, he knew you were struggling. Left money specifically for you. I'm just the delivery system." Marcus set down his plane. "Take it. Clear your debt. Buy into the partnership properly. Make this real." Jordan stared at the check, at the number that would solve everything. "Why?" "Because family takes care of family, and your family now. We're family to him. Our family to me and Lily. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Say you'll stay. Say you'll keep building boats and teaching Lily and not disappearing on us." Jordan laughed through tears. Yes, to all of it. Yes. That evening, they took Emma's promise out for a sunset sail. Lily at the helm now, learning to feel the wind, to read the water, to trust the boat beneath her. Grandpa built this, she asked. He built it, Marcus confirmed, for us. So we'd have something solid to stand on when everything else felt uncertain. Did it work? Marcus looked at Jordan, at the boatyard visible on shore, at the life they were building together, imperfect, uncertain, but real. Yeah, sweetheart, it worked. The boat sailed on through copper water, carrying them toward tomorrow, earning her name one wave at a time. Right?